Okay, and welcome to D-Day Take 2. We have some T-34s making their way across the beach there, missing the anti-tank emplacements. We also have landing craft coming in, ready to deposit over 1 million troops. These are the blue soldiers, backed up by 1,000 mercenary snipers. So this is going to be quite the battle. You can see the scale here as the landing craft deliver their troops to the beaches of Normandy. I would try and go through. There's Utah, Omaha, Gold, Juno and Sword. If you wanted to try and map out the various beaches, but I'm not quite sure how they relate to this beach here. If they do particularly precisely, probably not. Okay, and so let's have a look at the adversarial forces that we've got lined up here, if I can find them. So we've got some mortars down here. A lot of mortars. We've got another emplacement somewhere or other. And we've got adversarial red troops on the cliffs of Normandy, who will be taking the fight to the enemy. They are en route, whatever route they can find, already actually engaging, you can see, with some T-34s, or possibly, yeah, I think the T-34s are the first units to engage. Quite the scale. Oh, those were some T-34 shots there, making their presence felt. They're actually seemingly like sliding down. What's going on here? This is fantastic. This is Obi-Wan Kenobi, who I thought was already dead, but no. He's fantastic. He's absolutely leading the charge. Vanguard unit. This is brilliant. Yeah, I thought this individual, I thought I was going to make a bit of a comment about him, but I did try and whack his stats up a little bit so he wouldn't just die straight away, and it seems that has worked. And he's seemingly using the force there, if you can see, just walks towards the adversary, and they just drop to the ground. Look at that. This is why you need a Jedi Knight on your side, clearly, no question. Absolutely invincible, seemingly. I'm quite sure. I presume the previous mention about the Force was just very much untrue, and that was because bullets were flying around, but presumably from the blue somewhere. His health seems to be incredible. His damage seems to be somewhat limited. But that's alright, we can't, can't have everything. Let's have a look at the scale now. Oh, yeah. The Reds are starting to really struggle. They're silhouetting themselves against the skyline, making themselves quite nice and easy but not only the blues who are actually managing to claw their way up the cliffside, but also those snipers wherever they've ended up. This is a fairly unprotected route, I would say, if they were to, for example, come here, go round eventually. Nice clump here. You can kind of get up on the cliffside there and put down some inflating fire. You've got red still holding quite effectively as far as the cliff. It does render in weirdly, look at that, it does render in quite weirdly. To be close to the reds for some reason. They have some sort of camouflaging ability, let's put that down to. Is Mr. Obi-Wan Kenobi still around? We might be able to catch up with him if he's still around. He might have perished. Not entirely sure. But the Red's actually taken the fight to the enemy quite well. Tanks still around? Tanks look to me, yeah, it tracks off. Tanks look to me like they've been soundly defeated. Blues are now... And the snipers, rather than laying down fire from the beach, they're actually coming up with the blue infantry. Very much taking the fight to the enemy. As you can see, the pillbox is being used, but in a slightly odd way, insofar as individuals seem to be permeating the concrete, which is quite impressive. Look at that. So perhaps both forces have access to the the Jedi Force and are able to. Oh, we've got some. Do I see? Yeah. We've got some good fire on target by these mortars, causing some damage. Quite a clumped advance, if I may say so. Probably not ideal when you're coming under mortar fire. I did have another load of mortars. Oh, look at that. There is another load of mortars somewhere, so I'll try and look out and see if I can figure out where they are. But yeah, ultimately the Blues and their mercenary allies doing quite well at the moment, although we've still got significant numbers of adversarial red units. Oh, mortars from somewhere. Down there? Yeah, mortars. They're kind of hiding in amongst the. They can walk through concrete, but obviously walking through sandbanks. Oh, it's the mortars, isn't it? They're getting stuck on. It's the mortars they're getting stuck on because they're like active units, I guess. Okay. Nice. That's quite some scale. I'm interested about this line of units. Is that just kind of what I think it was a little ridge there that made it look like there was a line. Really quite the intense battlefield. But also look at all these red dead corpses of the cliff holders And you can see now that the tide is very much turning in the favour of the Normandy aggressors, the attackers of this beach. The Blues and their mercenary counterparts. They're not really acting like snipers, to be honest. They're just running around. Do seem to be quite strong though. They're coming up against quite a lot of fire there and not, you know, not succumbing. I didn't edit the stats of the infantry or the snipers, so that's just out of the box. They seem to be quite good. I'm not sure about the sniper rifle itself. Quite sure what sniper rifle that's going to be. Somewhat generic. Very cool. Do have a couple of Blues falling back down the cliffs, but most making it, and really, you know, the end is nigh, it looks like. Look at that. There we go. It's a good point to end. Look at those troops. So many. Good game.